Lakeland Public Television's Common Ground is brought to you by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund.
My name is Pat Riegert, and I build cigar box guitars. Here's one of the more recent builds that I did. This is, we got a door hinge. We got our holes drilled in there. It's the picture hanger with a bolt, right, threaded bolt here. Kind of a decorative cover piece here. A grommet here for a sound hole, which works just fine. I've got here to lay out the marks, the 3rd, 5th, 7th position, what have you on the front there. These are tacks put in, point of reference. Here we got our nut here with the threaded bolt. And these, on this one, I selected to use finishing nails for frets. Sanded these down on the side there, you know. I've got GCG, and this is also amplifiable, so you can really rock the neighbors out here. We like to do that. Here we got a door stopper for accents, sound effects, something a little odd and something kind of cool too at the same time. Hey, try anything. And this one is very pleased with this one. This one plays very nice.
Yeah, that sound good? Okay. Yeah.
Maybe I should just play one instrument.
Yeah. Well, all right.
I got into looking around, and you know, I saw a picture of a fella holding one of these small little boxes. And he's playing, and I'm a guitarist myself, and I thought, what is that? It's not a ukulele, it's not a mandolin. What has he got there? And I looked at it closer, and it had 3 strings on it, no frets. And I looked at it, and it said it was a CBG, or cigar box guitar. And I thought, I got to know a little bit more about this. So I did a little exploring and to find out that they've been around for a long time. The idea is, you know, that a lot of people back, you know, in the mid-1850s, they didn't have a lot of money. And so down south, they used whatever they could find around the house, around the barn, and they would take whatever they could and make homemade instruments. And this is their entertainment. This is what they had. They made their own instruments, gathered around, visited with people, had a good time, and then brought their instruments and played a lot. That was their entertainment back then. A much more simpler time. The cool thing about this is there's a lot of history in these babies. It goes back quite a few years. With these babies, we had Lightning Hopkins, B.B. King, and most of us all know good old Jimi Hendrix. He played with one of these, started out with one of these. Let's go back into the mid-1850s. There's something really rootsy and raw about these things. That's why it has such a nice appeal.
Got a couple more instrumentals I'd like to do, and then we got some other tunes.
Here's an example of one I built. This one's a wood box, and this is a newer box. Very clean, very sharp looking. And what I selected here, it's also set up for a 3-string, but I've got it set up right now for a 2-string. And here also, again, I used finishing nails for that. And a nice stain to it. And then I've got the different marks here to signify where the your 3rd, your 5th, and what have you scale is. And got in here is like a little drain cup here for, I spray painted it to kind of go with the thing, and that's our sound hole that we're getting our sound from. So if you want to make a bigger one, and if you want to put it in the middle, the thing is you can't go all the way down because you cut into your stick going through. So you can take the hole out there and use this, say this, and this would be another great sound cover if you wanted to. And this one is, other than getting it ready and getting it wired for sound, this one's pretty much ready. This one I built to see if I could. Here we got a birdhouse. I decided to give it a spin, and did a little different, couple different things on this one. This one is set up for slide, for the slide winders. And what I did here, this is a 3-string. I had my daughter paint freedom on the thing, kind of with the patriotic theme here I decided to go with. Got the found this. I thought it would be a cool effect on there. Stars and stripes. And I used this part. This was off an old guitar that I was just laying around that I thought, I could use this for something. And sure enough. And then I built a bridge. And what I did inside here, I don't know if you can see, but this part right in here, this silver metallic-y part, it's a biscuit tin can. And the idea here is to get a resonator sound to come from it. And it amplifies it a little bit, and I really like resonators a lot, so I thought I'm going to try to build a resonator within the box of a birdhouse. And the baby plays just fine for the slide winders. I really like the idea that these things are so unique. Each one has its own sound. Each one has its own unique look about it. Each one has a flavor of its own. I'm really drawn by the simplicity, the rawness of it. It's just, it's really playable folk art is what it is. Whether you're a musician or not, these are just one of a kind. They're not mass produced. And each one is the real expression of the person that's building it. It's just one of a kind. You're never going to build another one the same again. It's a little bit outside the box, shall we say. Outside the box in that you're not going for the $2,000 Taylor guitar. You're going for something that's more raw, more rootsy, and I like that. They are one of a kind. No one will ever be the same.
If you enjoyed this segment of Lakeland Public Television's Common Ground, consider making a contribution at lptv.org. If you have segment ideas pertaining to North Central Minnesota, contact us at legacy@lptv.org. Common Ground is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund by the vote of the people on November 4th, 2008.